Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm super excited right now to join you in the studio. We're about to analyze a mind blowing video. If you are a Cameroonian below the age of 40 and you believe that we can achieve peace, unity, freedom, and prosperity in Cameroon without violence, then this video is for you. If you are above the age of 40 and you believe in our initiative, you believe in this vision, we welcome you. If you are above the age of 40 and you think otherwise, then this video is not for you. This video is designed to open the eyes of every Ambazonian, to open the eyes of every English-speaking Cameroonian, to open the eyes of every Cameroonian that believes that Cameroon has a place for you. This video is designed to help you have perspective. We are going to uncover some of the agendas that have been put in place to hold the young people down. And this is a trap for this generation. My job is to open our eyes so that we will not get old and be angry and bitter like the leaders we are following today. Fasten your seatbelts, stay glued to your screen. We are going on a ride. There is a phone number right on your screen. Feel free to call that number and share your perspective. I'm here to listen. I'm here to help you. So together, we will be able to bring about transformation in our nation. I would like for us to start with a comment that was made under a post that I did on YouTube.
Secondly, President Paul Biya came to power as a youth.
Okay.
Today we have ancestors.
So today, guys, someone wrote this comment on YouTube. It says, why do you stay abroad and ask Cameroonians to make knowing to you? You go to Cameroon and show the example. It's funny to see young people at 33 thinking they have more experience and knowledge than those at 50 and above. That is a comment someone made on my YouTube post. I want to say to the young people, these old leaders you're following today, why didn't they achieve their dreams when they were young? Why? You see why they are bitter and angry today? It's because they understand that their time has passed. And you following any old leader today, be it in the Ambazonia struggle or back home, you are not different from them. You are not, because you have no original idea that is yours that you're actually blazing the trail with. What I'm doing right here, I am an independent thinker. And I want you to be able to rise up and see a vision paved by someone your age and follow that vision, knowing that it would lead you to ultimate freedom. He's talking about 33 and thinking that they are old. And because they are old, they know better. Take a listen to this.
Secondly, President Paul Biya came to power as a youth. Today we have ancestors ruling us. I mean, living ancestors. In almost every strategic responsibility, you cannot find a young man there. National.
Okay. President Paul Biya came to power as a youth. If you want to come up with your own ideas today, they will tell you that you've been bought out, you've been sold. The same old folks that you're following, tomorrow, I don't want to hear any youth in Cameroon stand up and say, the reason why I'm 50, I'm 60, and I'm broke, and I'm poor, I'm angry, and I'm bitter is because of the government. Because you have chosen, even after traveling abroad, no original idea has come out of you that you believe in and you want to forge a path in that direction. You are just following in the footsteps of people that had their ideas way back as 1960 or 1990 or 1961, all these years that they call. I want to ask you the question, how about you? How about your dispensation today? Why can't you come up with an idea that is originally you today and forge a path? So you're limited to the 8 million people in Northwest and Southwest. That is how you can stretch your imagination in this dispensation and see just 8 million people to have influence over. When we have young people around the world having influence over billions of people. This Facebook you are on, guys, this guy started at the age of 19. There's a reason why I've cut this age or made this age distinction. It is very simple, guys. God has not used most people in history over the age of 40. It is always below that age group. Do you understand that? So when you listen to anyone, look at it, guys. When you listen to anyone that is above this age group, I want to tell you that there is 100% chance that their ideas will not work and it will not help you to achieve your own dreams in your life. I want to repeat that again. When you follow anyone above 40, whatever vision or idea they have, there is 100% chance that it will not help shape your life. That is facts. And that is why I do my research before I talk. I don't just go and cloud my mind with an echo chamber perspective and then I try to project that thinking that I'm smart. It is amazing to see young people sit on the, YouTube and just spew, rubbish, and you sit there and listen to them. I'm like, is this your thought? Is this your idea? The way you talk, I can listen to any other YouTube channel about the Ambazonian struggle and I hear the same thing you're saying. There's no original idea or any original thought or meaning that you're bringing out of your own perspective based on the struggles that your people are dealing with. That is not helping you at all. Do you follow? At the age of 19, God raised this young man to start a platform called Facebook. Because they said, I'm 33, so I'm young. I'm old already. I'm looking at a possibility of raising other young people younger than myself that I know have energy, have perspective, and they can run with this vision. I'm 33, and these people think I am young. If Mark Zuckerberg lived in Cameroon or within even the English group of people from Cameroon, he wouldn't have achieved these dreams because they will crush him. They will put age on him and he will not go anywhere in life. And let's just keep going. Guys, I'm a little bit emotional about this because it hurts me to see my generation go down. It hurts me to see my generation being used as an experiment for the failures of old folks that didn't do well for their lives. And they want to use you today for some lofty dreams that they had in their minds and could not have the courage to achieve it in their time. Mark Zuckerberg was 19. Bill Gates was in his 20s when he came up with the idea of Facebook. I want to make sure that this is very, very clear so that we see everything that I'm illustrating here. Okay. Mark Zuckerberg was in his teens when he came up with the initiative of Facebook. Okay. Steve Jobs was 21 when he founded Apple. Today, all of you use iPhones. You think maybe in your 50s, in your 30s, you have some new ideas that will come into your mind and you become a leader like this, folks. I just want to show you, these are leaders of the 21st century. When they sit and try to tell you that poverty is a problem and how you have to fight against poverty to have maybe this power over your resources so that you can be able to achieve freedom, this is all rubbish. The leaders in the 21st century, they don't fight for power through politics. They achieve dominance through creativity, ingenuity. They achieve power through creating things like Facebook or platforms like Facebook, creating iPhones, creating computers. Stanley Eno in Cameroon did not have influence over the nation of Cameroon and around the world because he has some position in power. Are you guys seeing this? All the young people that have come out of Cameroon in this dispensation that are actually blazing a trail across the world, what position of power do they have in Cameroon? Yet they influence you. Yet they make you want to dance. They make you want to buy something. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying? I want to make sure that I break this down and make it so simple that you understand what is happening in the world right now. Because guys, after this, you got to just unsubscribe to all of these channels where these people sit and try to tell you there's some Ambazonian dream and all these lofty ideas that they go around propagating. Now they say this economic sabotage. They are trying to sabotage the economy of Cameroon. The economy of Cameroon will never go down. No matter what happens, it will never go down. I just want to make it straight to you. If you look at the way things actually walk around the world, there's no way for the economy of Cameroon to go down. That is an illusion. And some people see them really buy this idea. I mean, you guys amaze me, dude. You amaze me, brothers. You amaze me to think that a young person that has traveled abroad understands how the economy around the world works will sit and have this kind of conversation. I mean, I don't blame the people above the age of 40 that think that way. What baffles me is to even grasp the concept that young people within my age group will sit in front of a YouTube camera and spew out these ideologies. It's fascinating, guys. 21. This guy created Apple. Bill Gates, at the age of 20, started Microsoft. These are the new leaders of this dispensation. If you think leadership is through politics today, you are just wasting your time. It's not about who owns the land. It's about who controls the land. Today, if you ask every young Cameroonian, who do you want to be? They will say, I want to be like this celebrity that I see on TV from Nigeria. Do you know why? Nigeria controls their mind. Nigeria controls their thinking. And so if Nigeria produces a product, they will buy. That is where their money is going. That is dominance. Nigeria has more influence over English-speaking Cameroonians than the French, than even our leaders. And you guys are not seeing this. It's what controls your income, guys. When you get up in the morning, you want to have fun, you want to entertain yourself. Where you go spend that money, Guys, that place has more influence over you than any other ideology or resources on the ground. Some people think some resources in the Southwest region is what defines them. This is really insane. '21. Elon Musk started at the age of 20. He is in his 50s now and has made electric cars, advanced space travel, created the Boring Company. And they will tell you that you're young. That is the greatest trap that these old folks that you're hanging around have subjected you under. Let's keep going. These are the guys who created Google. Larry Page and a friend. They started in their 20s. Is this waking you up now? These guys are in their 50s now, and they started in their 20s. This is the guy who created Snapchat. He started in his 20s. What do all of these people have in common? They achieved greatness, laid the foundation for greatness before the age of 40. I'm not saying that the people above the age of 40 have no hope. But anybody above that age that is stuck with the ways of the past, there is a slim chance of them ever succeeding in this life. It is a historical fact. There is a slim chance of anybody above the age of 40 that is stuck in the past to ever achieve any dream and become somebody in this life. Look at when Nelson Mandela started. Ninja Mfrundi made one of the greatest speeches that moved the entire English-speaking people at the age of 29. Now, these are modern leaders. This is a guy who created Snapchat, right? He started it when? In his 20s. We move from there, we go back, right? Because that's how I benchmark to have perspective. I'll look at what is happening in this dispensation. I go way back as the 14th century. I see how leaders emerged right up to this dispensation. And if you look at someone like Alexander the Great, Alexander the Great became powerful as a leader in Greece at the age of 20. Don't sit here and tell me that your age is a problem, why you will not blaze a trail, why you will not initiate change, why you will not lead. Forget about the president, forget about all those parliaments, forget about the government, forget about all of that. Blaze a trail in this war. Create something, build something, start a business, initiate some change in your generation. When you are young and have energy, you can run, you can lift up weights, you can read extensively, you can mobilize people, you have the power and you have the energy. All these old leaders that you are following, if you tell them to do just 40 push-ups, they cannot do it, and you're following them. What kind of strength do they have to lead you or to show you the way? That's why none of them can go down there to fight, because they don't have the strength. Are you understand what I'm saying? They don't have the strength. They don't have the talent. What they had was in their time. Right now, they got nothing to help you with. Nothing. I've looked at all their strategies. It's flawed. Everything that they have known in their whole life, I've read just the books that I read in 1 year is more than the education that they have in their heads for their entire lifetime. I'm not bragging about this. I just want to let you know it is a fact. What I read for 1 year is more than what they have studied their entire life. These old folks that you're trying to follow. And it fascinates me because when I stand here to talk, and I don't see young people rising up to ask good questions so that we can actually carve a path for ourselves. There's some of them think that I'm joking here. They think that I'm probably just trying to cash cloud, or they think that maybe I'm working for a lot of public or something. Seriously. Alexander the Great was in his 20s when he came to power. At the age of 33, he had conquered the whole known world. And I'm still coming in at the age of 33, and they think I am young. When you look at what is happening around the world, they think their ideas of the past or trying to hold people based on age. They think it can work in this dispensation. It can't. Guys, the highest place that you should guard in your whole body, right? Your mindset, your entire existence. Guard your mind. Guard your mind. This is the greatest asset that you have. And when I'm looking at this struggle, I'm looking at the people who guard our minds, the minds of our young people, the minds of Cameroonians. Who has control over your thinking? That is what I'm interested in. And I've just outlined, and we'll get there very soon. This video is going to take time. So guys, fasten your seatbelt. We are going somewhere. When I look at our young people, Nigeria has more of a hold on their minds than La Republic, than the leaders in the diaspora. These leaders don't see that. And they don't know what to do about that. Are you understanding? But I understand that. And I know what to do about it. I expect more questions coming out of the mouth of young people so that together they can understand the vision that I'm paving here. We should be thinking of taking over the whole nation. We should be thinking of taking over Africa. We should be thinking of taking over the world. That is what we should be thinking. Their thinking is very limited to this small geographical location between Northwest and Southwest. This is where they are stuck and the little resources on the ground. We should be thinking of dominating the world. That is the generation of people that I want on my team, that I want to follow me. This is Joanna of Arc. This lady came to power at a very young age. This is Napoleon Bonaparte. He was 35 when he came to power and has blazed the trail in Europe. His memory, his work, his history is legendary. He will never be forgotten. He never started at the age of 50, 60, 70. Do you understand me? This is Julius Caesar. He came to power at the age of 30. Do you still think you're young? Do you still think that these old folks know better than you? Let's keep going, guys. This is Cleopatra. Are you understand? Are you understanding what I'm saying, guys? She came to power in her 30s. We'll keep going. And as young as you think you are, like this is Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci came to power and transformed Europe at a very young age. Laid a significant impact that no one can dispute their existence on this planet. Your color should not hold you back. The language you speak should not hold you back. You should not be stuck on the crumbs of colonization that was left for you by Britain to make yourself relevant in this dispensation. I want to repeat that again. You should not be stuck on the crumbs of colonization that was left for you by Britain to define your existence. You are more of a colonialist, a pro-colonialist trying to follow the demarcations laid for you by Britain and France to say you got independence. This is madness. This is madness. You understand what I'm saying? In this 21st century, you're trying to go back to look at a demarcation that was laid by a colonial master to say this is when I got independence. This is madness. This is madness, young people. To follow this kind of trend is insane. It's insane. I'm ashamed to see what is coming out of the mouth of our young people in this generation. That you pick up guns, kill thousands of your own people for this kind of idea. It's not worth it. These people came to power at a very young age and blazed a trail. History will never forget them. My question to you is, what will you be remembered for? Life was not designed to be hard. They've conditioned you and told you that great liberators ended up in exile. They were somewhere in a dungeon and they were expelled and all of that. I want to let you guys know that is complete bullshit. Do you understand what I'm saying? That is bullshit. Life is always hard for people who don't have brain, who don't know how to strategize, who don't understand the dispensation that they are living in. That is why life will be hard for you. To have this kind of erroneous thinking consistently for 7 years is the height of insanity. Do you understand? This is our movement. This is what we've chosen to do with our lives. We have chosen to break loose from the old folks that have decided and continue to think this way. And we are blazing a new path for ourselves and for our generation. So we will not be old in the next 20 years and sing the same song and blame people. Victims do that, and you are not. You live in some nation in Europe. You live in some nation in Asia. You live in America, and you are still caught up in 1961. This is a trap. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is how you've been held bound. And if you compound this in perpetuity, your existence is a waste. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you came to this world to follow these old folks, it was better you were not born. I'm telling you the truth. If you came into this world to follow all these old folks and these ideas, it was better you were not born. You were born to create your own things, to make your own things. The Bible is clear. Be fruitful and multiply. Be creative. Be productive. That is why you are here. You're not here to just cower yourself into some ideas that people force in your throat and in your mouth, and you go around regurgitating the same words that are coming out of their mouth. That is not why you're here. It's a shame. The list goes on and on. Thomas Jefferson. These people came to power at a very young age, had the energy, had everything that they needed to succeed, and they did just that. I want you to take a listen at this video. Let's keep watching.
Since that we got in Bui, far back 1996. This coercion threatened political figures. Rather than see the structures we were putting in place as reinforcing structures, they saw them as competing structures. And in their attempt at always being in charge by virtue of age, by virtue of being elites, they infiltrated some of these structures. They attacked some from inside. They used tribalism in areas like Bui. They recruited some to be their youth wings and others.
Okay. Cho Ayaba was 24 when he realized that he could lead and be able to come up with his own ideas and forge a path for that idea. 24. Do you understand that? He says far back as 1996. And what prevented him was leaders, old folks that stopped him based on their age, based on the fact that they are elites. That is exactly what happened to Cho Ayaba. He was 24 when he emerged as a leader. Do you understand that? And you think today, with modern technology and everything that we have at our disposal, at 33, you think I'm young to listen to me? 24. Ninja Mfrundi was 29 when he made the famous speech championing his ideas of the Social Democratic Front. And the entire nation rose up and supported him. Do you understand that? Most of these old folks, it's not just about the Ambazonian struggle, it's bitterness because they have not yet fulfilled the dreams that they had in their hearts when they were young. And most of those things is because they were misguided, right? They were misguided about this whole idea of, oh, there's going to be some idea of you guys going out there and creating your own nation. And so they caught up with it. You can get caught up like that with an old idea and you end up the same way and sing the same song and wait for the next generation of young people to rise up and then you tell them to pick up guns and go fight. You can do that. You cannot travel around the world and every nation rejects you and you guys come and you keep scheming and say, oh, in this 2024, we're going to create some dialogue. I want to let you guys know it's game over for you guys. It's game over. Just quit this because it's just going to get worse this 2024 on your part for you guys. You get what I'm saying? It's going to be worse. Truth be told, it's going to be worse. Whatever schemes and plans that you have, I've just looked at all of this. It's just so childish and you guys are going to get hurt this 2024. Truth be told. Just the groundwork that we have laid in 2 months has achieved more impact than what you guys have done in 7 years. When you want sustainable change, we don't come on social media and we do all of this noise. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not going to tell you guys exactly what is going on. You guys just feel the impact. Yeah, it's like wind. You don't see it, but you can feel it. That is how great leaders emerge and initiate change. It's not through social media. Social media will be for sensitization. The reaction comes through strategy, of which your strategies are so flawed, and there is no way for them to ever achieve an iota of victory in whatever they're thinking, because it's just erroneous. God is not for this, even. I'm telling you. And they tell you when it's hard, you keep going, you succeed. No, there's no rationality in what you're doing. If there was any rationality, all the nations that you've gone to in the world will even support you. None of them have. Is that a sign? It should be. Let's keep listening, guys.
Assembly, I grew up and knew the president of National Assembly. My daughter, first daughter, is still telling me the same person is National Assembly. The person who heads the Senate is a retired individual who was grabbed somewhere and he barely walks. We are talking about a constitutional council person who has been given an office that was created to make sure elections go free in this country. He was brought into that office. He saw it as a trophy, not an employment, as a breakthrough of the millennium. Now we have such persons in responsibilities. How do you expect a nation to continue for when the poor are ruling it are on wheelchairs? A nation that is led by people on wheelchairs, how do you expect the nation to gain speed? The people themselves cannot walk. How can the nation walk? Because in leadership we need energy, we need vitality, we need vigor.
You hear that? In leadership we need energy, we need vitality, and we need vigor. I agree with him. But young people, the kind of leaders that emerged in America after the end of the Civil War, or at the end of the Civil War here in the United States of America, those leaders were entrepreneurs. Those leaders were business magnates. Those leaders were business moguls. They were individuals that believed that they can create their own things. They can initiate change. They were the Henry Fords. They were the Vanderbilts. They were the Andrew Carnegies. They were the JP Morgans. These are the people that rose up and changed America. And that is the kind of energy that I want us to bring in Cameroon. That you are not caught up by a political system. If you can travel abroad and you cannot understand how to maneuver the political system that is set up by leaders in Africa, and you are an African, you grew up in the same system, then why do you even travel abroad? What have you studied? What have you learned so far? Or you went abroad and you get caught up in the job and you were trying to build a house back home and that was all you did. And then that is something you have to address for yourself. Because the reason why you travel out is so you can see what is happening, learn, and be able to come back and do different in your nation. I don't have any problem with Paul Biya. I don't have any problem with any political party in Cameroon. I believe that we will change that nation in spite of the institutions that are in place. And what they will tell you is, oh, these people have tried it. These guys have tried it. No, they are not me. They are not us. They are not this generation of people. That is the difference. The difference is they are not this generation of people. And if you want to say everything that has emerged within Cameroon, or the ideas that you tried in Cameroon and it failed, and so there's no other idea that will work besides what you have in your head, guys, then you would not even have this Facebook, right? Because some people tried ideas like this in the past and it didn't work. But this new generation of people came and say, we will initiate that change. And now everybody is connected on Facebook. Does this even ring a bell? Does this help you to even think that is possible? You travel abroad, they tell you the same way that they came and what they did and how they achieved their results, and you are in that loop. You see what I'm saying? Just go around, get your job, make some money, build a house back home, send some containers back home, and that is the life that you have to live. You have been designed in this box, and that is all you will do for your life. Guys, that is a limiting life. That is a limiting life, young people. You need to take bigger risk. You need to think outside of the box. You need to challenge the status quo. You need to dare to be different. That is why you are here. That is what makes life fun. I'm excited doing what I'm doing here because I know what God has put in the inside of me and how He's going to achieve it. And it makes me excited every day to get up and be happy to be alive. Not that you get up every day and you pick up some words thrown around by some political activists or some theorists and some people with this kind of erroneous thinking, and you just propagate that and you feel like you're making an impact. You are not. The ideas that you are spreading around, they are not original. They are not yours. They are not different from what we thought about in 1961. It's insane. It's really true. I mean, like, it's true, right? History repeats itself. And somehow we think that, oh, because we are a different generation of people, things have changed. No, the only way you change things is to change the way you think, is to change your approach, is to be able to think outside of the box. You are in the box of Ambazonian, and that is your thinking. You're limited to that box. Dare to think different. Dare to come out of that box. They want to drag you and put you inside. But you do not have to let that box cage your creativity, cage your potential.
To carry out leadership to an effective end. But that is not the case here. Now, when we talk about creating many institutions of learning, let us go to places like Europe and America. You will not find too many institutions. They have more of research centers where they come out with theses and hypotheses and come out with discoveries and inventions. You hear the Americans have gone to the moon, they have gone to we have all kinds of persons in different fields in this country. All they are looking for is to go back to a classroom and become a teacher.
That is a fact. That is what we think. That gotta change. Growing up, everybody told me, oh, you are done with advanced level, try to write ENS. And I saw, a lot of my friends and classmates, they throw a lot of money into the whole idea of ENS, never made it. Oh, the country screwed us up. Guys, I'm like, my dad said, go write ENS. I said, Dad, I'm not going to do ENS. It's not for me. And he respected that. And this is what parents have to do. Back off. Let children choose when they are. I mean, my question to parents, when do you think is the age? What is that exact age that you think your children have grown enough to make their own decisions? What is that age? I want to know that age in Cameroon. What is that age that you think that your child is grown to make their own decisions and be able to deal with the consequences of those decisions? What is that age in Cameroon? We don't have that. It's when you're 40 or 50. Even some people are still caged at 50. It's maybe when you're 60 or maybe when you die. What is that age?
Is teaching the only job Cameroonians can do? How do you explain? You go to American facilities in the country, government-based hospitals, the stories there are something else. It's a shame.
All those research centers he's talking about in America and Europe, most of those research centers are owned by private individuals. It's owned by the private sector. Do you understand what I'm saying? They are owned by private individuals in those nations. The question you should be asking me is, how do we make that happen in Cameroon? Not sitting here and listening to this video and thinking like, oh, this guy is saying something that is out of a proportion or whatever. Like, how can we do it, bro? I expect you guys to start asking me those questions. How can we achieve this? That is how we should actually approach this whole initiative of freedom, prosperity in our nation. I'm happy that there are some older folks like Apostle Ambe that have traveled or have read extensively and understand these concepts. But it should not be limited, Professor or Apostle, it should not be limited to politics. It should not be limited to government positions and government jobs. We can stretch our thinking outside of that myopic box that we've caged ourselves in. Have you thought of how you can impact other nations in Africa, young people? And not only limited to you want to cage even in Northwest and Southwest. It's too small for me to influence. Honestly, truth be told. There's a saying that to them that much is given, much is expected. I believe that God has given me too much to be thinking of Northwest and Southwest as a place where I can express myself or lead. That is too small of a geographical location. If that is where you've seen yourself, it's very limiting. If you produce a song or produce a product and 8 million Cameroonians, of which is insane, right? 8 million Cameroonians will never buy your product. Maybe out of that 8 million, maybe 4 or 6 will buy your products or your services, whatever you produce. Is this how limiting you are? How much will you make out of 6 million people or 4 million people buying your product? Are you understanding now? Think outside of the box. When you start thinking this way, it's needless really doing what you guys are doing. A single life that has been lost in this struggle is worth more than all the resources that you have in your ground combined. Because all of the things we make and enjoy is for humans, right? We are creating whatever we are creating is for us, people. When you destroy the people that you want to create this life for, what is the essence? What is really the essence of it? Do you understand what I'm saying? Whatever you will make in your life, if people don't buy it, you will have no success in this world. So human beings are more valuable than whatever thing you will create. That's why you make whatever you make for them.
Now, when we come back to address issues that are very burning in this country, we are talking about things that are very, very serious that affect the life of every Cameroonian. Look at the way Cameroonians are traveling out of the country. Guineans who are close here don't go out of the country. One of the signs you will know a country is not well is the rate at which the people migrate.
That's powerful. That one of the signs that you know that a country is not great is the rate at which people migrate. We are traveling out of the country. And predominantly, it's not because the nation is bad. There are over 6 million Nigerians in Cameroon. 6 million Nigerians in Cameroon. This struggle that we've been in for the past 7 years, they are not complaining about it. They still run businesses. They own over half of your markets in both the Northwest and the Southwest. Their movies and their films and their music control the minds of your young people. They've taken over your region with their culture. A brother was telling me the other day that in Bamenda, people are getting married and they're talking about 2 bars of yams. You understand what I'm saying? We'll get to that subsequently, but I just want you to have perspective on what you should be fighting for, is to have domination over your thinking. Have domination over the minds of your people in every sector. That is power. True power is having influence over people, not over a geographical location. Hope this sinks in you.
Because migration is movement from one place to another. If in my own definition, is movement from an uncomfortable environment to a more comfortable environment.
But the Nigerians in your nation will not tell you that their nation was uncomfortable for them and so they moved to Cameroon so that they can find a comfortable life. They will rather tell you, we came here to help you, we came here to teach you business. And you get what I'm saying? The Igbo people, their goal out there, wherever they go, is to dominate. Dominate. And I just want to put this for the record straight. I want to let you guys know, if you separate from Cameroon, it's a matter of like a year or two. Nigerians will take over everything that you have in there. See how weak your boys have been able to go out there and try to fight the French or do whatever they did, thinking that we're fighting the military. See how most of them have died and some of them are in the DDR camp. And look at what is happening with them. Do you understand what I'm saying? They will take over in 1 or 2 years. You guys will be slaves. It is very, very fast. It's going to happen. It's going to happen really fast. You'll see it before your eyes. And young people will be there clouded in this little 1961 politics and not see the bigger picture. You get what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I'm watching. You see what I'm saying? I'm waiting for you in your 60s and your 50s to complain. And then I will address you. I'll play this video. This video that I'm making right here, I'll play back this video for you to watch. You get what I'm saying? I'll play this video for you to watch in your 60s. Keep playing.
So if Cameroonians are going out of this country at a very high rate, it's only a sign that the environment is not comfortable for them to stay. Those are the things you have to put into considerations. Now, coming back to agriculture, like what Kikishi said, that we're talking about the Green Revolution. Cameroon imports worth 4 billion of money to 4 billion worth of onion every year. Onion. But we have a country that grows almost everything. We import worth 42 billion of pork every year. Now, why do we import food? The rate at which we import food in Cameroon is very bad, considering the fact that Cameroon has the most fertile soil under the planet Earth.
You hear that? Cameroon has one of the most fertile soil. Why are we not cultivating crops on this soil? Why? Why do we look at resources and that's all that we see? Right here in the United States, just Iowa alone is feeding almost the whole America with plantation agriculture, which is one of the first pillars that I want us to actually lay in Cameroon and dominate that area. Make sure that we never ever lack food in Cameroon. Why are we not doing that? You understand what I'm saying? This laziness has to stop. You see what I'm saying? This laziness has to stop. Because when we start working in Cameroon, you guys are complaining of jobs and all of that. I mean, we will get to work. Yeah. We will have to set up systems that you cannot be around, be lazy, and just think that everything is just going to be given to you. No, you will feel the energy in the nation, and that is what we are bringing to Cameroon. We've been sleeping on our laws for a very long time. We've been sitting on our hands for a very long time. We got to get to work. There's a lot to do to make our nation better than stuck in 1961. There is more to do to make our nation better than trying to do economic sabotage, thinking that somehow international community is going to see all these ideologies that you have in your head. You want somebody to see you and think that you're better and help you before you actually be free. This is insane.
On the surface of this earth, we have the most fertile soil. I'm sure we're supposed to be suppliers of food to other countries, not depending on other countries to give us food.
Powerful. I love this analysis because a folk in the older generation is backing up my thesis, backing up my hypothesis, backing up my vision, backing up my perspective of the world to help you understand that what we are doing right now, this initiative, is the only way, the only path to freedom for our people. Not anything that you guys have been doing for the past 7 years, which has flopped before your face. All the young folks that were running for this whole idea of Ambazonia, they're gone, right? They are not there anymore. They have realized that this is a waste of their time. Running around with these old folks is a waste of their time. They've backed off and they are gone. They're trying to go figure out their lives. And that is legendary. That is smart. It is better to be quiet if you have nothing substantial to say. You just go, try to get your life on, or if you get wrapped up in this old folks and they are thinking and you feel like they're going to swallow you up, back off and walk away. If you want to speak, have something to say. It's not about talking too much. It's about saying something of substantial value.
Yeah. We have an airline system where instead of
Now, I would like for us to listen to this video on exactly what happened back in the days, because some of you think history is history, but history actually repeats itself. Before our leaders joined French-speaking Cameroonians, there's a reason why they did so, right? And they did so for obvious reasons, because of the Nigerian influence on them. And I would like for you to listen to this video, and then I'll give you guys my remark on this video. So take a listen.
English Cameroon didn't join Nigeria. There are several reasons, but this is part of the reasons. According to him, Cameroon is one of the countries that is very close to Nigeria. They share common boundaries. Before Cameroon became a country of its own, they were given two options to either join Nigeria or French Cameroon. But see what they did, according to Professor Fanso, who is a Cameroonian from the English-speaking side. An extract from his BBC interview. In 1961, we were denied the option of having our own country. We were only given two options. Either we join Nigeria or we join French Cameroon. We were afraid of the Igbos due to their domineering nature. They were controlling all the markets and occupying large farms and settlements in our territory.
Okay. Have you heard that? The Igbos were dominating. Is that still what we are experiencing today? Yes. They own almost half of your markets. It is subtle today, but they've infiltrated your territory. And this is more of a bigger issue for you to be worried about than worrying about French-speaking Cameroonians. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is how we think long-term, 50, 100 years into the future, not some short-term thinking based on emotion and erroneous ideologies.
I want to repeat again. Because they mean divide we two parts. Give that side for Frenchman, give this side for Englishman. Now why that this side in the talk French, this side they talk English?
Okay.
But mommy, why would not be join Nigeria?
No,
Nigeria not the
Nigeria not been be with brother.
But they not the trip una fine or
no, they not been the trip we find. Time where they been give we for Englishman, then take we give them now for Nigeria. You the who clue ask some equal man or cut them throw away for you seeking, you must pay. Mission shoe you must then treat we like a slave so. You who shoe ask some say how much for this shoe, then go say you must pay. And you deny you will go for what fee you met a lawyer na Igbo man. Majesty na Igbo man. You know get where you feed yourself. We been a slave.
Okay, so those people they control not too much. When just want free, so we can rule our own self.
No, even my nose that one we been no say we brother na is Cameroon we been no say we brother. Now that one with any speak French. We been no because map the shoe. We map the shoe say we been being a Cameroon. Nigeria no be Cameroon.
One of the things I know about.
Okay. One thing I want for you to do is go on your Facebook and say Cameroon is the greatest nation in Africa. And just post that. And see the First Nations that will come attack you under that post. Just go on your Facebook page and say Cameroon is the best nation in Africa. You can call people like Francis Ngannou or say Samuel Eto'o, and then watch the First Nation. The first group of people that will come attack you on that comment. You have more than 6 million of them in your midst. Be careful of what you ask for. They might put it on your table and you will not be able to eat. Without your collaboration with the French speaking Cameroonians, this union, you will be wiped off. I mean, like you will be extinct in 2 years. It will not come from French speaking Cameroonians. It will come from the Igbos. They will take over. Not through military, they will take over in various ways. They have one mission: dominate. Take over wherever you go. That is their vision. That is their mission. We've researched this extensively, and listening to what Grandma is saying, when you went to the market, under the time we were linked with Nigeria, when you go to the market to buy anything, if you touch it, you're going to pay. They'll say you're going to pay. She said they treated us like slaves. You think history has changed all of a sudden? You think so? And they don't think that you're doing them a favor. Just go say you are doing Nigerians a favor by them coming into your nation. Apostle Ambe said when people are traveling to other parts of the world, it indicates that where they find themselves is not better compared to where they are going to. That is, where they are going to is more better than where they are coming from. Say that to Nigerians and listen to what they will say on your Facebook page. Go write that there. There are more Nigerians in Cameroon there than there are Cameroonians in Nigeria. Put that on your Facebook page and see the attacks that you get. It will start making you to think different. I want to be giving you guys action steps. Because this thing is not just about talking. We have to put it to work, and then you see what is a great threat to your existence than what you are really actually projecting to be a threat right now. You see what I'm saying? Be smart, guys. I know we are not dumb people. I know we are not. I don't just understand what is going on, but I know for a fact we are not dumb people. We have one of the best education systems in the world. But we finish studying, we don't think that we should put it to work and get some result out of it. We think the government ought to provide us job to make something out of ourselves based on the education we've acquired. That is insane for me. That's just the problem. You understand what I'm saying? That is the problem for me. Why we choose to think this way. Listen to what Nigerians think about you. In spite all of your numerous achievements as a nation around the globe, listen to what they think about
Cameroon is Cameroon Pepe.
My name is.
When he hears Cameroon, he thinks about Pepe. They don't think about Samuel Eto'o. Do you know how degrading this is? Do you know what this does to your psychology? Do you know what this does to your self-confidence? Do you know what this does to you as a people? They take over your mind. They bring in their movies, their music, and they take over your territory and the minds of your people. And then this is how they label you at the end of the day. And you're there and you guys are dancing with these whole ideas. You understand what I'm saying?
Oladuni, what comes to your mind when you hear the country Cameroon and Cameroonians? Like, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Cameroonians, like, is that a country?
Yes, it's a country in Africa.
That's the first thing that comes to my mind, that Cameroon will be a country in Africa.
That's all.
Yes, that is all I know
About them.
Oluwanifemi.
What comes to your mind when you hear the country Cameroon and Cameroonians?
How is that possible? It's like one country that is not that popular or stuff like that.
But why do you think they're not so popular? Because they're not like in the media.
Yeah, I'm always laying about them everywhere, unlike my country.
What's your name?
I'm classic.
What comes to your mind when you hear Cameroon and Cameroonians?
Cameroon.
What do you think about Cameroon?
I would say their culture, the way of lifestyle, you know. Yeah.
And that's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear about them.
Cameroon. Yeah, I think so, yeah.
My name is Esther.
Esther, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the country Cameroon?
I feel like Cameroon is a less developed country and it's not really populated.
That's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Yeah, because Nigeria is even more better than Cameroon from my own perspective.
Okay.
My name is Mwachukuni Kachukumiri. Yeah.
What comes to your mind when you hear the country Cameroon? Like, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Wow. Nothing actually. Nothing, because like I'm not familiar with that one like that now, so I don't know. Nothing.
I can blame some other African nations that are, say, maybe Ghana, maybe Senegal. Nigeria is our neighbor. If there is a young person that is grown looking like that, say they don't know about Cameroon, it troubles me. Most importantly is the sarcastic way that they talk about us. Like we are insignificant. That is the first strategy, guys. Make them look small and insignificant in your eyes. So that when you want to dominate them, you even think that you're helping them. That is exactly the kind of strategy colonial masters use. They thought maybe these people are backwards and uncivilized. We got to cultivate them. We got to help them. We got to groom them. We got to make sure that they are civilized. You understand what I'm saying? That is the mindset they have in your nation. This is more of a great threat than anything that I've heard in the history of that nation. But you guys don't see this, right? You don't see this. I mean, when I hear Americans, great people that have achieved enormous success, when you bring up an issue, even like slavery and slave trade, the way they approach it, they are empathetic. They want to hear. They want to learn. You tell them, oh, you don't know about Cameroon? Oh, you don't know about Cameroon? They don't like, I don't even know about Cameroon. Where's even Cameroon? Where's that kind of nation? They don't talk like that. And this is my cry to help our young people come out of this whole idea that they are looking up to a nation that don't even care about them. And they think that maybe there's a market for them in Nigeria. Hooking up with a celebrity from Nigeria will not help you sell your products. The people that are going to buy the products are these people on the streets, the laymen in that nation. They are neighbors, but yet they don't know about them. And yet you are linking up with them and trying to make sure that you pay them and produce with them so that you can be relevant around the world. They don't even know their neighbor. And this in a school campus. That's an education center. And suppose, oh, Nigeria is large. No. In our education system, we know our neighbor. There are countless soccer games we've played with Nigeria. There are countless Nigerians, millions of Nigerians that live in Cameroon. We are neighbors, for crying out loud. All of us know about Nigeria. Growing up, we know about Nigeria. There's no part of Cameroon that you go to and meet a young person and they don't know about Nigeria. This is a deliberate effort to let you know you're worth nothing. Ask Nigerians in Cameroon, do you know that we are doing you a favor being in this country? They will say no. I mean, try it. Put it on your Facebook page. You get it. I want all of us to get to work. Try that, because I want you guys to get out of this box of what you think your real problem is and start looking at a bigger fight and start stretching your thinking and seeing what you should do about this. Just put that on your Facebook post and just watch. They will say, no, they are coming to civilize you. They are coming to teach you business. You say, oh, there's no electricity in your country. Why are you here? Oh, you guys are that civilized and you don't have electricity in your country. They will tell you all sorts of things. Just go put it on your Facebook page and see what comes up.
Okay. Hi, what's your name?
My name is Favor.
Favor, what comes to your mind when you hear the country Cameroon?
Cameroon. Nothing comes to my mind. It's not a really popular country, so I don't know much about it.
My name is Jerry.
Jerry, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the country Cameroon?
Lots of black-skinned people, I guess, dark. That's the kind of thing that comes to my head.
That's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Yeah, actually.
Hi, what are your names?
I'm James. I'm Latifat.
Alright, James and Latifat, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the country Cameroon?
Cameroon. Camel. Camel? What the? Sounds like camel. I just know it's an African country, right?
That's all, you don't hear anything, you don't know anything about it?
No, because I'm not even interested.
By that.
You hear that? She said, I'm not even interested. That is in the diaspora. Are you guys understanding? Does this make you feel like it's something that you should actually look into? Why don't you know your neighbor? Do you even care to know? And you are here in Cameroon, sitting on a platform, talking about Nigeria countless times. Why are you guys focusing on this nation? When there are great nations around the world that you should talk about their strategies and how they've developed themselves, how they've become great. You sit there, your entire mindset is about Nigerian films, Nigerian music. You guys should be looking at the best in the world. We live in the 21st century, for crying out loud. And there's the internet that you can be able to put yourself out there on TikTok, on YouTube, on Facebook, and let your music go viral, let your product go viral, let your creativity go viral. No, we shut this down and we are stuck in 1961. We are stuck in Africa. We are stuck with Nigeria. They don't even look at you. I don't blame them at all. They're looking at the best. Whatever they want to do, they're looking at the best in the world. And you cannot copy this. I don't blame them at all. I blame us for not opening our eyes and seeing the reality and doing what we need to do to better ourselves. You understand what I'm saying? This little myopic fight that we're picking up with each other is insane, guys. We have people speaking English and French in Cameroon, which means we can explore almost every market in Africa. Do you know what that means? Over 24 countries in Africa speak English, and almost the rest speak French. Do you know what together we can do to explore this market? Africa is over 1.4 or 1.5 billion people. That is the population of Africa. And we are stuck with this little 8 million group here and trying to attach ourselves to Nigeria. It's insane. Nigeria is just approximately 213 million people, of which only 53% of those people speak some version of English. Look it up. When you hear this English that they speak, you think that it's just for movies. No, that is how they speak. When you watch whatever you watch about Nigeria in their movies, that is their lifestyle. That is them. Is that what you want to be? A teacher made a post and said he was shocked because when you leave Nigeria and you come to, say, a university in Cameroon, he said some of the people who left Nigeria and came for university in Cameroon, they went back to Form 3 or Form 4. They took them back to Form 3 or Form 4. That is the brain you have, guys. That is the knowledge you have. Some of you have gone, had advanced level, have a degree in that country, but we still think this way. You see what I'm saying?
Do they have camels there, do they?
I don't even know.
Our basic geography in school helps us to understand at least every country in Africa. At least there was a class that you took that explored the countries in Africa and the countries in the world. Our basic geography, at least if you've had from 5 ordinary level in Cameroon, you should know at least all the nations around Africa. At least you've come across them to know. You might not memorize them, but you should know. Nigeria is not one of the nations that you should not know as a Cameroonian. If you've gone through school, at least from 5 in that country, you should know. You see where our young people are? You see what I'm saying? We got to get out of this.
Camels? Like, are you kidding me?
What's your name?
My name is Adela.
Adela. So
Okay.
what comes to your mind when you hear about the country Cameroon and its people?
Cameroon and
Cameroon as a country and Cameroonians.
sometimes I feel they are not that civilized. I think it's one uncivilized country like that.
Why do you think so? Because they're not like.
I think so. Maybe.
So
Alright, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay.
she thinks is one uncivilized country. Like I said, it is okay for some people to be ignorant, right? But it's how sarcastic that they make it look and how they talk down on us that hurt me the most about this video. I've met people here in the States who don't know about Cameroon. The way they approached me with it made me understand they want to learn, they want to know, and they are interested in hearing more and asking me more about my nation. They didn't make me feel like it's some nation that is uncivilized, doesn't exist, doesn't have nothing to offer. This is the worst thing you can do to a human being, is break their spirit. It's not about any resource on the ground or anything that you come in mind. It's to break their spirit, to make them feel they're worth nothing. I've never heard this in my life growing up. Degrading every achievement that our nation has ever achieved. Helping over 6 million Nigerians to have a place in our country and fend for themselves.
There we have it. A lot of Nigerians do not know so much about Cameroon as I expected, or rather as I suspected. I'm just going to try to...
It's okay. So you heard the conclusion of that. A lot of Nigerians...
You and I...
Okay. Now I want to talk about some of the character defects that we have inhabit over the years that we don't pay attention to. Right up to this moment, before the struggle started in 2016, I have never heard of Cameroonians kidnapping each other. Never heard. And when we see some of these vices, we should be asking ourselves the question, where did it come from?
Are going to have us a drink. Put him down! Give him something to drink.
No, please, I will. Please, now. Please, you can't do this to me, please. Please, now, I'm begging of, please.
All right, hold it. I will let you go on one condition. You will tell me the medicine man that works for you.
His name is Ikuku. Ikuku. But if he gets to know I told you, I will be dead. That man is very powerful.
Hey! Ukechukwu! He prefers to be called Danga, terror of the night.
So this is how you make all the money you spend so recklessly?
Because you're on there, DJ. You know how much I've done for this village.
We also know the number of lives you have wasted.
Please, I won't steal again.
Of course. We shall make sure of that permanently.
Now you are talking. The best means of
all of these movies that we've been consuming coming out of Nigeria has conditioned our young people to think the way they think now. All this is Sakaba movies, Odeshi, bullet doesn't penetrate me, kidnapping for ransom. These are cultures that we can't deny. We are adopted from Nigeria through their films in Cameroon. There's never a day we've watched a Nigerian movie on CRTV. How did it come? Through the Igbo peoples coming into Cameroon and doing business. And they came along with their culture. They came along with their movies. They came along with their music. It was always played around Commercial Avenue, where you see maybe the grandstand right up to maybe the Ninja Frontiers building, or right up to T Junction. They consistently played their songs, displayed their posters. We were seeing these images every day we go to the market, and it conditions us. We'll buy the films, we'll watch them. It's programming us. Where do you think all of this came from? From America? From China? No, from Nigeria. All the thousands of boys we've lost and what our nation has become today is influenced by these movies. Our leaders have been inspired by the Biafrans. They saw this idea and think, oh, Biafrans have been at this for a very long time. We can do the same. It's the group of people that want to break out of Nigeria. They've had this idea for a very long time, and we've been neighbors, and we've been consuming their products. Where did you think all of these ideas came from? They've been inspired by this. It's one thing to pick up an idea. It's one thing to have a source of inspiration that keeps you going on that track, right? They've been inspired by these ideas. We do not see this. The Cho Ayaba, all of them, they were once little children, young people, running around like you, picking up ideas, and never knew one day it's going to materialize at this level. So today, when you ask me the question, oh, how old are you to do? I mean, like, seriously? All the examples that I've illustrated from the beginning of this video, do you see that I'm old to speak up on this? Do you think now that I'm young to have a vision that can help free our nation, free our people, help us have perspective so that we don't end up the same way? Do you now believe that I have something to offer you, and you should be asking more of questions than trying to attack me? We've had this thinking that when someone comes up and they are courageous, they're confident, and they speak bold, we think that is a threat. We have this kind of inferiority complex in us because when people see others that are courageous and bold, if they are timid, they will say that person is arrogant. It's a fact. Anyone that sees someone that is confident and courageous, they will always think that person is arrogant. Why? Because they don't have self-confidence in themselves. How do you expect Cameroonians to go out there and take over the world if they cannot be strong and courageous and speak the way I do? How do you expect if you cannot win? How will you even challenge Nigerians? How will you even challenge the world? How will you challenge other nations if you cannot speak confidently in your own nation and have your people say, yes, we stand with you? And they think like, oh no, who do you think you are? How old have you? How long have you been in this struggle? To hell with that. To hell with how long you've been in the struggle. What have you produced out of the struggle? When our people have died, how long have you been in the struggle? That's the question they will ask you. Oh, La Republic has bought you. They will attack you. You're attacking yourself. When you attack me, you're attacking yourself. You're attacking your own destiny. You're attacking your unborn children. You're attacking God. Do you sit down and listen to my video extensively to understand my mindset and ask good questions? Or you make up conclusions? These are movies. You sit there, you don't even know what is happening in your psychic, right? But I've diagnosed your psychology, your thinking, your words, and what comes out of your mouth, and how you process information. That is what I've done to understand Cameroonians. Most of you guys have never done that. You've not done that. I've dived deep into the psychology of both the young and the old and the unborn. What they will consume, and if this continues, what they will become if this continues, if we don't put a stop to some of these practices and some of this kind of way of thinking. Do you understand what I'm saying? We need to be celebrating bold, courageous, and confident people. We all just cannot just fold our arms and be timid and fearful and go around the world. I'm not saying you be arrogant, but be confident and know who you are. But be respectful at the same time. I will respect you if you respect yourself. I will respect you if you respect yourself. But if you try to disrespect me, if you try to continue in the way that you're going when I know, based on every historical fact that you're wrong, I will prove it to you without an iota of doubt. And I have everything to back it up. Don't try it. And you should respect somebody that can talk with proof and show you what he's saying and where it has worked so that you can get the same result. It's not about me, it's about our nation. It's not about me, it's about our country. It's not about me, it's about our people. It's not about me, it's about our future. It's not about me, it's about our destiny. It's not about me, it's about us blazing a trail in this world, making something out of our own lives. That is what this is all about. It's not about Chu Ayaba. It's not about Sako. It's not about Chris Anu. It's not about Seseko Ayoktabe. It's about the destiny of our people, our country, the future of our children. Is your idea going to really give them that? That is what we are fighting for. Not people that are too egoistic. Everything they think about is themselves being in power. They are going to repeat the same cycle. The same cycle, their language, their thinking, their words, and have repeated. Guys, when you're above the age of 40, you got to be very careful with the kind of thinking and ideas that you have. Because there's just so much God can do with you after that, after the age of 40. It's a historical fact. It's not by chance that Jeff Bezos started in his 20s. Started Amazon when he was 30. It's not by chance. God raised people to prominence within those ages for a purpose. It's not by chance that you have Facebook and he started when he was 19. It's not by chance.
Defense is to attack. There is no point debating on the issue concerning Ugo's protection. We offer protection to every member of this family without being reprimanded. His own will not be a different one. In the next quarter, we shall be celebrating the reunion feast, which will bring together the members of brotherhood under one roof, and we are supposed. Chief Sheldon, let us have the report from Ushubu Convention.
Very interesting.
Okay. You will see right there through that movie how our young people have been conditioned to think that through hard work alone, they won't be successful, right? That you have to sacrifice somebody. This is the conditioning. We've been conditioned to think that you hear most of your leaders, some leaders are propagating this occultic idea in Cameroon. This kind of erroneous thinking. You think Steve Jobs was in a cult to create the Apple computer? You think Mark Zuckerberg was in a cult to produce Facebook? You think YouTube was created by someone who was a cultist? You see all this erroneous thinking? That's why after the age of 40, what I'm saying, some people, it is just going to bounce, right? It can't get in. Like I said, when I started this, I was trying to make sense out of what all of these leaders were saying. I was trying to understand, because that is how I approach any problem. I come with a neutral mind. I don't come and like, oh, I've already taken a side, and then I start thinking. No, I just come like, okay, you guys are having a party. I want to be part of that party. I want to listen to how far you guys have come, your ideas, and what you guys are doing. And I was humble enough. If you've watched my videos, I came learning, but got to a point and realized, but this is not making any sense. There's no rationality in this. There's nobody should die because of this kind of idea. I mean, I'm telling you, it's insane. That's what we've learned from Nigeria. You got to kidnap people for ransom. Is it happening right now in Cameroon, in Northwest and Southwest? Yes, at a massive proportion. And in perpetuity, this is going to lead our nation to becoming that. What Nigerians are acting is their culture. This is not a film, it's their lifestyle. Yeah, facts. Almost every week, someone is being kidnapped in Nigeria. It is their lifestyle. This money ritual thing is their lifestyle. They really live this and believe it. So when you admire all of the things that they project and it's all flashy and you think it's something that you should emulate, I just want to let you know, that is why most of our entertainers, it's hard for you guys to break out, right? Because you are trying to pick a culture that is not yours. And you're trying to be creative with that culture. And what you fail to understand, that what a nation is that large, most of the large groups of people on earth are not creative. It is always the smaller groups that are creative. And then the large nations mass produce. Their job is to multiply. It's not about the size. If size was the issue, China would have been probably the best nation in the world, or India would have been the richest nation in the world because of their size. Because if you produce something in China, you can sell and make a lot of money because of the size. And so if numbers is what your entire philosophy is based on, that is a flawed thinking. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not size. America is not the largest nation in the world. America is just about 4.25% of the population of the world. And yet they are leading the world. If this doesn't inspire you, I don't know what else is going to inspire you. Most of the original talents have come out of other nations in Africa, not Nigeria. Nigeria only imitate what is good, including the Afrobeat. It's not their idea. This came out of South Africa and other great nations, the piano and all of this. It comes out of other great nations. I want to let you know, small nations are creative. Big nations mass produce what smaller nations create. So if you're focused more on creativity, you succeed in Cameroon than trying to copy Nigeria. Their system will never work for you because large nations are not creative. That is by design. God made it that way. For some reason, that is how it works. Smaller nations succeed more when they are creative than when they are trying to copy from larger nations with crowd and all of that. It doesn't work well for you. And that's why I think America can be the best nation you can draw inspiration from, because why? Their size is not that huge compared to the rest of the world. And so it's full with a lot of creative people. You get what I'm saying? It's full with a lot of creative people because of that reason. So I hope this is helping you to think different, think out of the box. Now, our leaders have been fighting for a very long time. Right now, you've heard there is a beef between Capo Daniel and Chris Anu. And it's a shame to see leaders talking like women. I'm not saying that they're not responsible women out there, but we know there's a distinction between a male and a female. Some women can argue and quarrel, but there's a way men talk. To see grown-ups, fathers, come sit on a YouTube channel and criticize one another like this. It's a shame. And some of you, after this, they follow them, or you pick a side and then you go on your own channel and talk about them. I say all of this is wrong. It is wrong. You cannot dare to look at them in their faces and tell them this, but I'll do it. And I'm telling you, it is wrong.
Well, you see, the Ambazonian liberation struggle, you know, I don't usually like to talk about people, but I follow them carefully. You see, Capo Daniel, if we were very careful, we would have known far back from 2017 that Capo Daniel knows nothing about the Ambazonian struggle. And we would have identified immediately that he was there speaking the language of the colonial master. And how did I identify him? You know, we were together in the Egg of Sea group, and in one of our forums we were debating, and Capo Daniel made an audio to say that Ambazonia has never had independence, so we are fighting for independence. So I told him
how long ago was that?
That was 2017.
Okay.
2017, yeah. So I told him that, look, we have independence. What we do not have now that has been taken away from us is our sovereignty, because a series of agreements, including the plebiscite agreement we had with La République, has been abrogated by La République itself, and La République has reverted to its name. And after reverting, what La République is doing now, it has annexed Ambazonia by refusing to leave us. So we are fighting back to gain back that sovereignty. So if you come and tell us that we are fighting to get independence, you are just preaching what Mr. Camto and the other La République citizens are saying. That look, say if you don't have independence, you were granted independence because you were to join La République du Cameroon, which means if you were not to join La République du Cameroon, you would not have been given independence, which is a wrong narrative, which is something that Ambazonia should go away from it. The second thing I realized about Capo Daniel, which made me, I started having problem with the Egg of Sea, and even, you know, within the Egg of Sea organization, was this idea of him going out there with his so-called podcast and showing the hiding places of our people.
Yeah, right.
And I confronted the Egg of Sea and I told them, look, you cannot come out and say, you are telling the people that you see the group, the ADF in Alabo camp is now doing this, they are doing that.
And that's what I'm saying, guys. You come out as a leader and you say, oh, I don't want to talk about people, and then you go ahead and you do that, and you go on and on to demonize one another. I'm like, this is not maturity. And young people, stay away from these old folks. I'm saying this because they will pass away very soon. In your 50s, which is coming really fast, I'm going to ask you a lot of questions because I will not forget most of you guys. I will not. I'm going to ask you a series of questions when you are in your 50s. Yeah, time is really going to come. Time is going to pass really fast. I'll ask you a lot of questions. Some of the old folks right now who are joining us, I want to let you guys know we appreciate you so much. And I just want to let you guys know we are going somewhere. We are up to something. The change is possible. And through us, it's going to happen. And I welcome you. For those who continue to go this path, very soon you will be in your 60s, 80s, or 70s. I'm going to ask you some questions. After you're done with all of this, I'm going to ask you some questions. We know all your faces. I'm going to ask you guys a series of questions. We will not take it lightly with you because of age. No, we'll keep age on the side and we'll deal with the situation that we are dealing with because you guys are very vocal right now. because you're in a foreign nation and you're talking, I'm going to ask you guys questions very soon. Yeah. 7 years gone, right? Like a joke. Very soon, you'll be in your 70s and in your 80s. I'm going to ask you some questions. Even on your wheelchair, we're going to ask you those questions.
Shooting here and that. How I really was, because but she doesn't show up.
Didn't have a rational mind, so.
Now I take you to Capo Daniel. Capo Daniel is the Ambazonian hungry activist. It's the Ambazonia's hungry activist. It is the subject of the talking point that I bring to you at the moment. And I really hope that Ground Zero gets this message. I really hope Ground Zero gets this message on the Capo Daniel. Capo Daniel has said and done a lot of things in this struggle. But I have never wanted to be in the habit of responding to anything he does or say, because I have always taken him for a clown and thus inconsequential. He is not the kind of fellow any responsible or intelligent person wants to rub shoulders with, talk less of class. But today I choose to delve into his shenanigans because it is now public knowledge that he drinks from the same cup with our common enemy, La République du Cameroon.
You see, everybody has sold out. You see what I'm saying? That is the idea that they have. Nobody can think for themselves. Nobody can have a perspective on what they want to do. This is the trap, young people. You understand what I'm saying? If somebody can, the first thing, label the person. I know all their strategies. You see what I'm saying? If someone dares to think different, label them so you can have an opportunity to crucify them. You offer them to the crowd and then you castigate them and then you move on. That is the strategy. It's a very minute, myopic strategy. It's an ineffective strategy. Only fools buy into ideas like this. Everybody has sold out. Everybody is talking like La République. Everybody is a blackleg. Everybody is has an ulterior motive. That is what they will do to you, young people. In the house, you try to think different. You're a black sheep of the family. Until they see your success out there, they're like, oh, I knew he would be great. I knew he would become somebody. That is the whole philosophy. That is why you got to be crazy to succeed in this life. Especially if you come from Northwest and Southwest. You got to be mad. I mean, like crazy to succeed. In America, they say, like, you got to be crazy to succeed. You got to want it really bad. Because if you are caught up in a cloud of these old folks, there's your chances of succeeding in life. Why do you think we have very few successful young people in our community? You think that they were not talented? You think so? No, they have been cuffed. They have been cuffed by old folks like this. Dare to think outside of the box. They bring you back inside and they hold you. You understand? Even when your thinking stretches wide than the environment that you find yourself in. No. You see what I'm saying? It's like the round peg in a square hole, right? They're trying to force it. But your capabilities, your talents, your potential, your ability to be great is greater than their box, and they cannot see beyond their geographical location. And so you're caught up in there. You got to break away from it to be anything in this life. I'll remind a lot of you in the next 20 years. I mean, in the next 20 years, I'll talk to some of you. Those who choose to listen and choose a different path, we'll be celebrating back then. But those who will be celebrating them, but those who choose to continue in these tracks, I am going to talk with you guys in the next 20 years. What I'm saying here is not strange. What I'm saying here just comes out of looking at what has happened in history time again and again. Because some of you think, oh, it's some abstract philosophy. It's because you're hanging around people like this. But What I'm saying to you guys here has happened in history, time again and again. Jesus Christ, which is the greatest example that I can use to explain this concept, came on earth and did not follow the tracks of the old. Jesus Christ came on earth and carved a new path, stood up, read the scrolls, and they thought he was the devil. What did they do? They take him out and try to throw him down a pit. Today we go to church and celebrate this guy. Now, he was a young guy at the age of 30. I'm older than Jesus at the time he started. Do you understand what I'm saying? The same old folks pick him up to throw him down the pit. And today, most of them go around preaching as pastors. If they saw a young person like that back then, they would have asked him, when did you come into the game? When did you come into the struggle? When were you born? You see, the same thing, history. You just fail to see these things, right? And we think there's something new about what is going on. No, it's been happening. It's been happening. They try to throw him down the pit, Jesus, at the age of 30. God wrote this story so we can read them and be inspired. The team of people that he surrounded himself with were very young people. None of them were even his age. Young people. Some of them 15. And they were part of his movement traveling around. His disciples. He could not pick old people. But there were some old people that believed in him, that knew him, and they said it. And those old people, God placed them in that community at that time so that they can see a young person and they can prophesy, they can say it, that, oh, a king has been born. They were old wise men that could see. And those are the old wise people that are one on our team. Not the old blind, because there are always many of them. There are always Sadducees and Pharisees in our midst that will always want to drag you guys to the past and stay there. Do you know how many million churches have been created out of that one man that rose at the age of 30 and believed in his philosophy that what he has is the path to freedom in life? Jesus Christ was 30 when he started his ministry. But before then, at the age of 12, he was already challenging the lawyers and the authorities. And I want to let you know, that is my life. It's not today. I've always been uncomfortable with the status quo. I cannot When the house is burning, the firefighters are shouting, let's go, let's go, let's go this direction and quench out this fire. That is how they get into that kind of a situation. They don't come in and try to tell you about delivery. There's more in you, young people. There's more in you, old people, that believe that we can be peaceful and yet achieve all our dreams. There's more in you, Cameroonians. There's more in you, English-speaking Cameroonians. Choosing hope is a decision that you gotta make. You can either choose despair or you choose hope. You can't be in the middle. You can choose to see a better Cameroon, or you can choose to see a place where you feel you are subjugated for the rest of your life. Hope is a choice. And it's going to compound in perpetuity. Like if you choose despair, it is going to compound in perpetuity. And that is going to be your existence. That's going to be your reality. If you choose hope, it is going to compound in perpetuity. And that is going to be your reality. Choose despair or choose hope. Choose victimhood or choose to be the victor. Choose this day. That is what I present before you. I hope this message has been inspiring. I hope you got some value out of this. I love you guys so much. Today, I hope I've dispelled the myths of age. And if you've been watching my content, this word age should be eradicated from your vocabulary. Start looking at people based on what they offer. Martin Luther King, that some of you celebrated, was not up to the age of 40, but yet championed the civil rights movement in America. You see, there's a reason why I draw this line. If you're 40 and above and you still think this way, there's no way you're coming with us. Yes, there's no way you will cross that line. And I hope I've addressed the reason why some of you are asking, why did you draw the age? Because anybody above that age that thinks a certain way, you are not with us. You can't come with us. And now you know why. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, name them. All of these great leaders were under the age of 40. And so God is saying, if you got to work with some people to bring about change in your country, it will not be this group of people that are above this age and they think this way. And I'm not saying everybody above the age of 40 is not welcome. I say if you're above the age of 40 and you think that way, you are not welcome. But the leader that will pave the way is not in that age group above 40. It's a fact. Deal with it. You can't help it. God has designed it that way. You cannot change it. There are some things that you have no control over. And you got to accept that. You cannot turn the soil to be what it's not. It is a soil. That's what it is. You can either plant in it, you can put fertilizer in it, but that is what it is. You cannot alter gravity. Gravity is what it is. You jump up, you're going to fall down. It is what it is. So, I love you guys so much. I love you so much, my people. I wish we too can be free and enjoy the finest things of life. I wish we were not traveling out of the country and be in these nations the way we are. I wish there's more for us. I wish we could have a good life. I wish all of these good things. And it is not going to come until we take initiative, until we take action, until we start doing things when we are strong and healthy and have this power in us and think creatively, looking at where the world is going to. It can never come that way. I wish we had it all. But you get it? If wishes were horses, everyone would ride, right? You got to get out there and initiate the change. Wishes will not help us get it. So until next time, stay blessed. Subscribe to this channel. Like and share the video. Invite your friends to subscribe on this channel. It's very important. So that every time we upload content, you'll be the first to be notified. I'm praying for you guys. And until next time, you stay blessed.